the Jacksonville Jaguars, taking on Teddy Bridgewater and the Denver Broncos.
Smack dab in the middle of I-295 that encircles the city of Jacksonville in northeast Florida. There's a good look at TIAA Bank Field. A few minutes prior to us coming on air, this crowd was jolted into action with the introduction of these Jaguars. They're set for football as the Jags are ready to match up with the Denver Broncos. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0. Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. You got to fight against that. You've got to come out ready to play.
The final week into the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. And the Denver offense ready to take over for the first time. Get a look at their 8th-year quarterback. His first season as a Bronco, though, Teddy Bridgewater.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, Bridgewater. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, this defense for the Jaguars, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And taken right at the 35. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. For the first time, the Jacksonville Jaguars set to go here on offense, led out by the new face of the franchise, the #1 overall pick, of course, from this year's draft. It's Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson.
For so long, the Jacksonville Jaguars have been seeking their franchise quarterback, and they believe they've got their guy now. How about this? 38-2 in his collegiate career, won a national championship his freshman season, and the only losses he ever suffered during the college football playoffs. Had to have a little bit of surgery in the offseason, but this is a guy who's locked in on football and has everything you're looking for in a quarterback.
A snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne. And some room to roam now. And finally out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4. 42 yards rushing for him now to this point. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
1st and goal from just inside the 5. They'll run with Bud. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. This is Bawden. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Nick Bawden, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jags have taken the early lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And it's now a 7-0 game. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it Culminates in a Jags touchdown. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And they're able to get this one across the 35. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Now Gordon on first down. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. And now White. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. And that one going to be off target and incomplete. He was looking for Tim Patrick that time. And now it's 3rd down. Bridgewater now. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And the Jaguars are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. From midfield now, Lawrence. That's caught. It's the tight end, Tyler Davis. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A good throw there, and this is a quarterback who's still just getting his feet wet, obviously. And by most accounts, last week played okay in the victory. But I want to know, Charles, what was your impression of his play last week?
Brandon, I think a lot of teams will be happy with okay, and early on, it's less about how many touchdowns did he throw, but did he not throw interceptions? Did he handle adversity? Did he handle the huddle? Those types of things, that's what people are looking for.
On 2nd down, a run with Etienne. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. Open man left side. It's a tight end, man Hurts. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's Bowden. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Nick Bowden, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Jaguars have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos are about set to go on offense. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now they run from the gun with Gordon. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar and some discomfort down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. When you're down early, how do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach.
And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Bradley Chubb there on the tackle.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. Toss left side for Etienne. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Oh, boy, hang tight here. Down on the field, Juju Smith-Schuster. And everybody on that sideline holding their breath while the training staff works on. We'll step aside and be right back. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively a dime look. 6 DBs. And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Is Josh Lambo now for the Jaguar field goal. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that'll make this 17-0 here in the opening quarter. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. The Broncos on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Bridgewater. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gordon. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
Bridgewater's throw into the hands of Fant. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing is Bridgewater. Over the middle, complete to Judy. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Working with 2nd and 5 now. Now a handoff. This is Gordon. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
3rd and short yardage, Bridgewater. He's got his tight end Fant. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Bridgewater now for Gordon on the draw. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. Bridgewater to throw it. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
The kick by McManus is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So that stems the tide just a little, but this still a 2-touchdown game.
And I think that maybe that was a bit of a calming drive for this offense, and that's exactly what they needed. They were able to move the ball. They did some good things. It's still the 2nd quarter. Plenty of time to go.
So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. They were able to defeat Houston last week. They lead things here as well as they try to make it 2 victories in a row. 1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. Here's Lawrence. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Bradley Chubb. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Bradley Chubb continues to round into form. Remember, he had knee surgery in 2019 and followed that up with 8 sacks in 2020, continuing to ascend in the NFL.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. On the delay, here's Harris. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. On play action, Lawrence. In trouble, and he's taken down. Von Miller, he was the one getting in there, able to wreak his usual havoc. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. KJ Hamler deep for the Broncos. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And certainly not the greatest of kicks there. This one will be down inside their own 40-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the delayed handoff, this is Gordon. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Open man, he completes it to Judy. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Gets through, and now an opening. And down inside the 15 he goes. 46 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. A 1st down throw for Bridgewater. Escaping the pressure right. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a 1st down, but a big gain to boot.
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. 2nd down and goal. Bridgewater throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
3rd and goal for Bridgewater. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And McManus able to put it through. And a 2nd field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
They'll start the drive with Harris. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Lawrence to throw. It's complete to Fitzgerald. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence.
And that is, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
Lawrence. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up. From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. Oh, Fitzgerald able to look it in.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. Think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. The long distance shot before break comes up empty, but now Charles flipped the script. Time for likely one more play as field position becomes an issue.
Yeah, when you talk about field position, remember, if this kick is missed, the ball comes back to where? The spot that they snapped it from, so field position becomes a factor. I think at this spot, you might also want to think about throwing the Hail Mary. You know, put the ball up in the air, maybe you can get 6 out of it instead of 3.
Yeah, see what happens.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement, so now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Final play of the half. It's Lawrence.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best. Does that